Right.
Morning, Joan.
Morning.
Joan.
Miss Ferguson. Joan, about last night. It was an accident.
Yeah, perhaps I overreacted a little.
No hard feelings.
Oh, I wouldn't go so far as to say that, but I can understand you not wanting to leave under a cloud.
Under a cloud. I was thinking of you.
Oh, I see. An old and trusted friend just wanting to clear the air, is that it?
Oh, how dare you?
You always did get excited easily, didn't you? Europe should suit you. Oh, and good luck.
Miss Ferguson.
Oh.
I think you'd better see this.
Camilla Wells, eh? More truth, justice, and the Australian way, I suppose.
Something like that?
Wentworth Prison is considering appointing as its deputy governor a woman of such callousness and such brutality that Hitler's Auschwitz will, by comparison, be reduced to kindergarten status. Well, what'll they think of next?
Fortunately, no names were used.
Thank you, Governor. It's very obvious who she's referring to, isn't it? Otherwise, why would you show it to me?
Not only you, I've also shown it to Mrs. Morris.
Ah, it's pathetic. The prisoners leak a complete lie, and a fraud like Camilla Wells prints it in the interests of responsible journalism.
Yes, still, we've all been through it.
The department will see through it, won't they?
I honestly don't think it'll affect their decision one way or the other. I really don't.
Well, ladies, seems that one of you has been in touch with our old friend Camilla Wells. I realise you were just wanting to do me a favour. You know, get me a good mention in the media. And so I would like to thank whoever had that kind thought. Oh, come on, don't be so modest. Now, let's see. Bryant, you were pretty good mates. Perhaps it's you I should be thanking. What about you, Desmond? After all, you are top dog, aren't you?
Right. On the last point.
Only the last point? I wonder. Well, of course, it wouldn't be her, would it? She's too busy playing fairy godmother. And Keane? Keane's too wrapped up in herself. Parker? Parker wouldn't have the brains. But you, Mitchell... Now, you're a real little sneak, aren't you? After all, I did spoil a thriving career in Sydney. Oh, now, come on, Parker. We don't stand for that sort of thing around here, do we, Bryant? After all, Parker, you've got that oath from the country, haven't you? You wouldn't be interested in a little street tart carrying a bundle from a one-night stand, now would you?
You must be really worried. I mean, with your record. I can't see why a little paragraph in the press is going to worry the department.
I'm not worried, Desmond. I just want to find out who my friends are. And when I find out who did me that little favour, I'll say thank you in my own special way. That is a promise.
I'll tell you what. When I throw a coin in the Trevi fountain, I'll make a wish for you.
And what's that going to be?
May Big Joan never become governor permanently.
Oh, if she ever does, I'll be on the first jet out of here.
Perhaps you'd better leave now with your friend if you don't like the thought of working under me.
Oh, wait a minute, you're not deputy governor yet.
Well, don't wait on the formalities. You might miss that plane.
Can't wait to step into my shoes, can you?
Just being practical. Because when I'm deputy governor, Mrs. Reynolds will get the support she needs.
Now, that's not very complimentary to Meg.
Let's just say that I don't let the women get away with murder.
No, you don't have to reassure us of your strong-arm tactics. We've had quite enough evidence of those in the past.
I doubt that you would have been game to make that sort of accusation if you weren't opting out.
Will Officers Ferguson and Morris report to the Governor's office immediately, please?
Well, good luck.
See you at home.
Well, let's hope it's good news. You could do with a holiday.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Got held up in reception. Well, for once the department has acted quite quickly. They've made their decision on Colleen's replacement already.
Well, that shouldn't have been too difficult, even for them.
Yes, well, there are lots of things to take into consideration. It isn't just a matter of experience.
Of course. We understand that.
After all, the job isn't just a backup position. As you know, the deputies had to step in and take over on several occasions, so the department is, in fact, selecting a potential governor. Now, I want to emphasize that the officer who doesn't get the promotion shouldn't take it as a reflection on her efficiency.
I'm sure any intelligent person would realize that.
Good. I felt sure that I could rely on that reaction from you, Joan. And I know that you'll take Meg's appointment as deputy in just that spirit. Joan, before you go back...
Yes?
I just want to say I know how much you wanted the position, and I'm
Spare
sorry...
the sympathy. No one's listening.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
I think I don't know your little game, Morris. I have seen you sucking your way around this prison till it's made my stomach turn.
I beg your pardon.
So it worked, but you won't be able to keep it up. It takes more than crawling to hold that job.
Have you quite finished? Now, I'll forget that little outburst because I know you're upset. But the decision has been made, and the sooner you accept it, the better it'll be all round.
Accept it, that'll be the day. You made damn sure I wouldn't get that job, didn't you?
What do you mean?
Ah, the little Camilla Wells slander bit in the paper. You certainly had a hand in that. Or maybe one of your little crim mates did it for you so it wouldn't reflect back on you.
If you think I'm going to stand
and if you
here...
think I'm going to stand here and see Wentworth turned into a circus just because the department made a mistake...
Then as new deputy governor, I suggest if you can't live with it, you better write out your resignation. Because I am here to stay. Ferguson.
Joel, now you can tell me who made the call to that Wells woman, can't you?
I didn't know anyone had.
Then I suggest you catch up on the local gossip. In fact, I'll give you until tomorrow night to find out.
But Miss Ferguson, if it was one of us, I would have heard about
I
it.
said find out, Mitchell. After all, it is important that you stay healthy in your condition, isn't it? Oh, what's this? Playtime at the prison. There's some mail. Corbett, Kennedy and Fisher.
Hey, Cass, why don't you show us your statues now?
I'm not ready yet.
Oh, come on, Cass, big sport.
Yes, Parker. Now's your chance to show us how brilliant you really are.
Oh, well, you see,
Now,
Miss...
Parker, no buts. Why aren't you in the dining room, Mitchell?
I'm not hungry. I tried to find out who called Camilla, but I couldn't find out.
Don't give me that. You know. You all know.
And ask us.
Well, I don't have to. You three goons have just told me all I want to know.
Yeah? What's that?
Well, you see, I checked all the phone calls for that night. And the only one on the list you'd want to protect is Mason. Yeah. Thought so.
You leave Bobby alone.
Me? Oh, Parker, I've got what I want. Without any heavy stuff. So unless you're planning to start some, I suggest you get out of my way. You're losers. You're all losers.
Ferguson. If anything at all happens to Pixie or Bobby, you're going to be the loser. Oh, it won't be me or Judy or Cass. You'll be up against every woman in this prison with any semblance of guts. And we'll tear you apart.
Come on, Mason, get a move on. You're no further advanced than when I was here before.
I know, Miss Ferguson. I just can't get it to stand up. I think what I need is a really thick post for the centre. Well, perhaps you could help.
Don't go too far, Mason. You're not out of this place yet.
Just keep your nose out. I know we're this close.
Off you go. Come on, now break it off. I said knock it off. Bloody hell. Bobby, are you all right, love?
Don't tell me, Hunt. Plant food, right? Hand it over.
I told you it wouldn't bloody work. I told you!
You should have listened to her, Keen. 6, 7, 8. 8 reports in one day and all signed by me. Now, that is the way to run a prison. Now, I doubt whether your textbook there would back me up.
What? Oh, no, perhaps not.
And that's the trouble with this place. Everyone was taught by the book. Now, I was taught in a prison, a damn tough prison.
Which I suppose turned out damn tough prisoners.
Frightened prisoners. That's the only way to teach them. And you know why it worked? Because we had a governor. I mean, a real governor. God, she was tough.
Sounds like a pleasant working atmosphere.
At least the inmates did as they were told. Not like this place. Here they hand Reynolds a list of demands and she gets straight on the phone to the department. They've got her running around like a lackey.
I don't agree with you there. From what I've seen, they really respect her.
Oh, yeah. They really respected her today, didn't they? Pink cakes and tea on the lawns and wave goodbye to the prisoners as they walk through the gates. Oh, wonderful.
I'll make this as short as possible, Ferguson. I will put up with and excuse many things in this prison, but if I ever hear a repeat performance of what I've just heard, I will do everything in my power to remove you.
I think I have a right to express...
No one has the right to sabotage the working authority of this prison. If you haven't got the guts to come to me with your complaints, either go to the department or keep your mouth shut. Understand?
Yes, Governor.
Good. Now get back to work.
What are you doing here, Hunt? Get back to the rec room.
I can't. Please, Miss Ferguson, they're blaming me for what happened.
What are you talking about?
Reb and Lou are crook on me for losing the dope, and I didn't even know it was there, honest.
Don't lie to me, Hunt. I'm not in the mood.
I'm not lying, Miss Ferguson. I'm getting the blame for what happened to Bobby, too. Look, I'll do anything you say, but you've got to give me protection.
All right. It's bargain time, Hunt. You tell me where Desmond is, and I'll look after you.
How would I know? She wouldn't tell me.
Okay, Hunt. You're on your own. Good luck.
You can't brush me off, Ferguson. I know too much. If I had a word to the right people, you'd be out of a job for the rest of your life.
Now, you just think about what you said. And you think about what I'm going to do to you for saying it. I'm going to go now. But think about it, Hunt, because it's going to happen. And it won't be very nice.
Parker's gone mad. I need help.
Just lock her in a cell. She'll get over it.
No, Joan. She's killing Dennis. I mean it. She's gone stark staring mad.
Where are they?
Oh, cell block. Security gates.
Now call an ambulance, tell them what's happened, and then phone the governor.
Oh, no, but you just
Look,
can't...
just hurry. I'll look after it.
No, don't let him go!
Open the gate.
She'll kill you. There's an ambulance on the way. They'll have restrainers.
Open it. Those women are in danger.
They're her friends.
Look at her. She hasn't got any friends. Sorry, Lassie, I had to do it.
You didn't. I mean, she'll be all right, won't she? She's not...
Yes, Pixie. No, she's all right. I think if you just go back to your cell...
Mr. Crookshank doesn't have to explain his actions to you, Mason. Now
I
get to your cell.
wonder if you'd let me finish, Miss Ferguson. She'll be all right, Pixie. Don't worry, we'll look after her. If you just go back to your cell. Why don't you make Judy a nice cup of tea? Think she could do with one?
Yeah, come on.
You treat them like that, they're going to walk all over you.
I'll tell you something, Miss Ferguson. You do it your way, and I'll do it mine. Okay?
Don't you worry. I'll look after this.
Bryant, get a move on. You too, Mason. Bryant, I knew there was something I wanted to tell you. They've had a spot of bother over at Barnhurst. Anyway, they're going to be sending us one of your old mates.
Okay, I'll bite. Who is it?
Winter. Mari Winter.
Miss Ferguson, have you heard how Cass is?
Oh, Mason, yes, I knew there was something else I wanted to say. She's been committed to the state hospital for the criminally insane. Yeah, good thing, too. At least we'll all be safe now. She's going to be there for the rest of her life. It's found Hunt in the shower block, Governor. The skull's been bashed in. Oh, God. Called an ambulance, but I don't think she's going to make it.
All right, Miss Ferguson, gather the women in the rec room. I'll question them as soon as I've seen Hunt.
Oh, I don't think you'll get anything out of that lot. Besides, I'm sure the culprit is already out of harm's way.
What do you mean?
Parker. One of the statues she made for the fete was found near Hunt.
I'd hardly call that conclusive evidence.
Oh, I don't know. She was after anyone who put Mitchell in hospital. Crookshank was one and Hunt was the other.
Yes, you have a point.
You still want to see the women?
Of course. We can't very well say that Parker's guilty without finding out where everyone else was at the time. Anyway, I have to let them know about her commitment.
Oh, there's no need. I've already done that.
You've what?
Well, I figured you had enough to worry about. I mean, telling the department that the women have taken advantage of you again isn't going to be easy.
It wasn't. But if you don't mind, I'd rather you channeled your energies into your own work instead of worrying about mine. I'll see the women in 10 minutes.
Yes, Governor. Come on, get a move on. Hurry up, Kelly. There's a mess in the shower block needs cleaning up. You're volunteering.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Brian. At least you know Parker's sleeping in a nice, soft bed tonight. Nice, soft walls, too. Well, Parker must have done you a big favour putting Hunt out of action, eh?
What are you getting at?
Saved you the trouble. You must have lost a packet when she dropped that pot full of dope.
These things happen, I'll get over it.
I wouldn't count on it, especially if I find any more dope floating around this prison. Oh, come on! Get a move on, you've got 5 minutes. Oh, there was something else, yes. We've had some news about Hunt. Thought you might like to know, Keen. Seems she's got permanent brain damage. So, wouldn't be bothered sending her a get well card.
Dan, you better get some clean ones. It's all right, I've finished. Oh.
Used to work as a waitress, did you?
This girl just dropped a knife and fork, so I...
This girl, Officer Rogers, is a prisoner. If a prisoner drops something, she picks it up herself.
Oh. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking.
Obviously not. You're here to guard them, not wait on them.
I said I was sorry. I won't do it again.
In this job, Rogers, there is no room for mistakes or apologies. Remember that. That blood in her body, very interesting, eh?
Could have been under the bed or something.
Did you bother to look?
Oh, no, I was so shocked.
Don't suppose you bothered to look for a weapon either.
I wasn't sure what the correct procedure was, Miss Ferguson, so I thought the best thing to do would be find someone who was as quickly as possible. You see?
Yeah. I'm not blind. Fancy that. You poor thing. Lived in Australia all your life and never been to a barbecue.
What?
Your first encounter with tomato sauce. Frightening, isn't it?
It's not, is it? Oh, you must think me a bit of a fool.
Put it mildly.
I just didn't think to check.
Thinking isn't your forte, is it? You know, Roger, sooner or later you're going to come up against the real thing, body and all. God help us then.
I won't make the same mistake twice.
I doubt it. Once a panic merchant, always a panic merchant. Hey, you, come on. Wake up there. Come on. Hey, come on, wake up.
Ow!
Just a minute, young man. You and I are going to have a little talk.
You a copper or what?
I'll ask the questions, right? Well, for a smart operator, you're really pretty dumb, aren't you? When you break in here, you get a chance to take off with the loot, and you go to sleep on the job.
So what are you going to do about it, copper?
I'm a prison officer, not a policewoman. Now, I think it's time you turned your pockets out.
I didn't steal nothing. Just wanted something to eat. For me and Nicky.
Why don't you go home and get something to eat?
'Cause I haven't got one. I cleared out, and I'm not going back.
You don't seem to be managing too well on your own.
We'll be okay.
Not if I turn you over to the police, you won't.
You're going to call the cops.
Well, what do you expect me to do? You've run away from home. You've broken into my house.
No, don't, please. I wasn't going to steal nothing, honest. And the cops will put Nicky in the pound or shoot him, for sure. I'll just take off. I won't break in nowhere else, honest.
All right. Sit down. You and I have got a lot of talking to do. Now, are you going to tell me where your parents live? Pretty funny-looking dog you've got. There you go. Now, don't wait for me. I'm going to put Nicky outside.
Why?
Well, I think that might be a wise move, considering all he's had to eat. And don't worry, he can't get out of the yard. Oh,
Good ducker.
there. So, how long have you been away from home?
4 days, counting today.
Well, how'd you eat?
Mixed a bit of fruit. Blake bought me a hamburger. Only,
Only he wanted his money's worth, eh?
yeah. I'll give him the slip, though.
Surely home's better than starving on the street. You know, they must be getting pretty worried about you by now.
It was only me dad, and he couldn't care less.
Well, where's your mother?
Got sick of Dad bashing her up and took off. Now I cop it even worse.
He beat you?
And how? He comes home full and starts belting into me for nothing. No, he broke Mum's arm once, and last time he put her in hospital. She never came back. I'm not lying. He got stuck into me the other night. Reckon he'd have killed me if I hadn't have grabbed Nicky and taken off.
Want me to get you some more?
Nah, God, I'd bust.
Well, what are we going to do with you now?
We'll be okay. Nicky and me will sleep where we did last night.
Where's that?
In one of them community bins. It's pretty good. There's plenty of old clothes in there to keep warm with.
I think I have a better solution than that.
You gonna dob me in?
We'll talk about it in the morning. You can stay here tonight.
You won't ring the cops while I'm asleep?
I promise. Now, I think you better have a bit of a scrub up before you go to bed.
Can I bring Nicky in? He's used to being with me. He might get scared.
Is he house trained?
Oh, yeah.
All right, go and get him.
Nicky! Come on, Nicky.
What do you want?
Mr. Munro?
If you're from the bloody Salvos, I don't want to know.
No, I'm not, Mr. Munro, but I do want to talk to you about your son.
That stinking little bludger. What are you? The truant officer or something? It's your bloody job to see he goes to school, not mine. Now get the hell out of here. You're trespassing.
Look, Mr. Munro...
And don't bother coming round here again. I'm fed up with you lot. I said bugger off!
You want to see me, Governor?
Yes. Sit down. I thought you'd be interested to know that I have to report to the department tomorrow with an explanation for what happened at the fete.
Hardly any of my business, Governor.
No? A friend of mine tells me it was a report from you that led to this meeting.
I'm a senior officer, Governor. I have a right to make a report.
I'm aware of an officer's rights, Miss Ferguson. But you saw fit to give details of my personal life.
I don't follow you.
That's because you're so far ahead of me. How dare you accuse me of having, and I quote, an improper personal relationship with Dr. Edmonds?
The department has a right to know what's going on.
Not in my personal life, it doesn't, and neither do you. You're hardly a fit person to decide what is or is not proper.
In my experience, Governor, relationships between staff members have a bad effect on discipline.
What happened between Dr. Edmonds and myself had nothing whatsoever to do with the way we conducted our duties here. And it was none of your business.
Whatever you say, Governor.
In future, I suggest you confine your duties to matters that concern you.
Will that be all?
Yes.
By the way, Governor, since you've been receiving information, I think there's something you should know.
Oh?
Well, none of us can be sure how you'll get on tomorrow, but just in case, I have already prepared my application for the position of Governor.
Oh, g'day.
Well, what have you been up to today?
Nothing much. I washed the dishes, swept up a bit, you know.
Oh, looks as though you did a pretty good job, too. Where's Nicky?
Out running around. I gave him his tea, but he didn't eat much.
Oh, well, he'll eat when he's hungry. I went to see your father today.
It's no good sending me back. I'll only nick off again. I hate his guts.
Oh, come on, you don't really mean that.
Too right I do. He's never done nothing for me. He's only got time for his grog.
Shane, he is your father.
I can get along better without him.
Yeah, well, I haven't been able to make any other arrangements for you, so looks as though you'll be spending another night here.
Yeah? Beauty. Nicky! Where the hell are you, you stupid mutt?
Hey, Shane, keep your voice down. You'll have the neighbours after us.
He usually comes straight away.
Oh, all right, I'll go and get a torch. He might be just caught up somewhere.
Nicky! Miss Ferguson, quick! Nicky!
Oh, my God, Shane, he's been poisoned.
No, Nicky. He can't die.
Look, he won't die. We'll get him to the vet straight away. Hey, you just stay with him and I'll call a taxi.
Nicky, you can't die on me. He hasn't made noise for a while, has he?
Yeah, well, he's probably settling down.
You sure? Sounds like he was choking before.
Look, the vet would have had to make him sick to get rid of the poison. That's what we heard.
Suppose so. Wish he'd come out, though. Sure he knows what he's doing?
Who, Dr. Dickinson?
Yeah.
Of course.
Then how come we're the only ones here if he's so popular?
Because it's after hours. Now stop worrying.
How's Nicky? Is he all right?
Well, he's feeling a bit sorry for himself right now, of course, but he'll be right as rain in the morning. You'd better leave him with me overnight, though.
Overnight? Why?
Now, come on, Shane. Doctor knows what he's doing.
Can you pick him up in the morning, Mrs. Munro? I'd like to keep him under observation.
Yes, of course. Actually, the name is Ferguson. You may remember I used to bring my dog here.
Well, that's right. You belong to Major, don't you?
Well, not anymore. He had an accident some time ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a beautiful animal.
What about Nicky, Doc? Can I see him?
All right, but don't get him too excited. Just through the door there, young fella. A boy and his dog, eh? Now, I'd better get you to give me his parents' address.
Oh, no, it's all right. I'll take care of any expenses. Shane's staying with me while his parents are overseas.
Never fails, does it? The minute they leave, the trouble starts.
Oh, well, I don't mind, really. He's a good kid.
Look, I hope you don't mind, but Well, I think you've got it wrong about Heather. She really is serious about her work, you know.
What? Oh. Yeah, maybe I was a bit rough on her. Still, she's going to get worse from the women.
Well, I better watch it then. Little scrapper, don't you think?
Look, I was telling a friend of mine about your work in England, and she thought you might be able to help her.
Well, if I can. What's the problem?
Well, she's been landed with an 11-year-old runaway. Oh, he's a nice enough kid, but, well, legally she can't keep him, and she doesn't want to send him back to his father.
Oh, why not? Bit of a villain, is he?
Could say that. Look, she doesn't want to, of course, but, what's likely to happen to the boy if she were to hand him over to an institution?
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, we did all we could for them in Borstal. But let's just say no institution's a good home for a lad. A few of them try to make something of themselves, but it's an uphill battle to go against the pressure from the other lads. Now, too many of them go under for my liking. No, I'd say, have another word with the father. Oh, here we go. Tea for two. You'll have to watch it, Dennis, lad. Keep talking to yourself and they'll put you in an institution.
You wanted to see me, Governor?
Yes. Close the door.
I have to see Mrs. O'Regan, so I'll be...
No, Meg. I want you to witness this. I don't want Miss Ferguson running to the department with any more lies.
I didn't lie, Governor. Every item on that report was...
That report was a masterpiece of verbal manipulation, Ferguson, and you know it. Not one charge was substantiated or reported in its correct context.
And was that the department's opinion?
You want a fight, Ferguson? Right. You've got one. It's been a long time since I really put the gloves on, but I don't think I've forgotten anything. Now get out.
And what did the department say?
If there's another file up within the next 6 weeks, I'm out.
It's not like you to be sitting around doing nothing. Besides, I'd heard you'd gone into the free enterprise business. Don't worry. I'm not about to try and stop you. In fact, I might even be able to help you.
You know what I'm selling?
Yes, I do. The offer's still open.
What's your cut?
You can keep your money. That's not what I'm after.
All right, I'll bite. What do you want?
As much trouble for Anne Reynolds as you can stir up. And I mean real trouble.
You mean like the odd riot or two?
Yeah, sounds good to me. The only thing you have to remember is to keep my name out of it. You do that, and you can do all the business you like. Deal?
Deal.
You know, a few things are going to have to change around here if you're going to stay with me.
Like what?
Well, for a start, you're going to have to go to school.
I've been already. Didn't like it.
Well, that may be the case, but it is the law, Sonny Jim. Everyone has to go to school. Believe it or not, even I did.
And you liked it?
That's not the point. You want to make something of yourself, don't you? You want a good job when you grow up?
Suppose.
Right, first thing in the morning, school.
Oh, and I hate Mr. Brindley.
Who?
Mr. Brindley, the headmaster.
Oh. Well, you know, there's no reason why you have to go back to your old school. In fact, it's probably better if you start off at a new one.
As long as I can still play footy.
Oh, yeah. We'll make sure of that.
Great.
And, I want you to do a few odd jobs around the house, too.
Eh?
Got to earn your pocket money.
Gee, I never had pocket money before.
I'm sure you'll get used to it.
I could buy myself a footy and a new collar for Nicky.
Yeah, if you save up.
Yeah. Oh, did I say thanks for the jeans and the shirt?
Yeah? Why?
Couldn't remember. Mum was always telling me to say thanks and stuff. Wasn't really good at it. Used to forget.
No, you didn't forget.
So why do you reckon you're being so good to me?
Oh, I don't know. Suppose someone had to do it. Just happened to be me. Come on, eat up. You did up so early.
Oh, it was going to be a surprise.
What was?
Breakfast in bed.
Yeah, well, it's still a surprise. You know, I can't remember when that last happened. Thank you, Shane. Well, I might as well just sit here and have it now that I'm up, eh?
Toast got a bit burnt.
Oh, that's all right. I don't mind it a bit crisp.
I used to make breakfast for Mum in bed. Give it to her on a tray. After Dad hit her and stuff.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, where's yours?
Already had some. I reckon there was room for more, though. You know, I've been thinking. About school. We don't want to rush things. Starting next week would be just as good as starting in the middle of the week now. Don't you reckon?
That wouldn't be the reason I was going to get breakfast in bed, would it?
Might have been.
It won't work, you know. You're going to school today, and that's that. But it was a nice try. Well, that's what I like to see. Everyone working. Keep it up.
Miss Ferguson?
Yes, Bryant. Well, Bryant, you don't appear to be working. I would suggest that you get on with it.
Yeah, well, I'd like to know how you're going to get the freak down here to see it before one of the goodies spots it.
Don't you worry your spoilt little head about that. I've got it all organised. She ought to be coming down the passage any minute. Yeah, here she comes. Oh, don't just stand there, laugh a bit.
Well, you going to tell me what's so funny?
Oh, nothing, Miss Ferguson, nothing at all.
Who drew that?
Oh, well, it's nothing to do with us. We was just passing on our way to the rec room and, the old Marlene's a pretty good drawer, though, isn't she?
You telling me that Warren drew this?
Well, it's her bed, isn't it?
Now, Winter, unless you want to find yourself on a charge with Warren, get to the rec room.
Yeah, right, Miss Ferguson.
Not you, Keen. You've got a visitor.
Who is it?
You'll find out. Now, get a move on. And Warren, I picked you the moment you walked into this place. You are a troublemaker. You play dangerous jokes. You make fun of your betters, and worst of all, you interfere in prison affairs.
I won't do it anymore, I promise.
No, you won't. And after they've finished with you, they're going to teach you a little lesson, one you won't forget in a hurry. I understand you don't like pain.
Oh, no, please, don't hurt me. I'll scream! I'll call one of the other officers!
That would be extremely stupid, Warren. It would be only your word against mine. Now, you listen to me, Warren. There are big things that you have to learn about how things are run in this place. Now, I call the shots, right? No one else. Just make sure you remember that in future. She's all yours. Something bothering you?
No, I'm just watching out.
Yeah, you do that. Winter, make sure you clean the mess up, eh? Shane!
Hey, what are you doing?
No smoking.
You are?
You are 11. Nearly.
Dad let me smoke at home.
Oh, well, if it's that important, you better go back. Now, listen, when you're 16, then you can decide. Until then, and while you're here, it's not on. Wish I'd never started.
And how come you're still doing it?
All right? Make a deal with you. We'll both quit. And no cheating.
Bet you'll sneak one at work.
I could well say the same about you at school. Got a deal?
Okay.
Good.
Meg, have you noticed a sort of underlying tension during the last couple of days, or is it just my imagination?
No, it's there. But I think Mary Winters caused that.
Well, thank God Myra's back. Pity she's in solitary.
Yes, for how long?
48 hours, unfortunately.
Excuse me, Governor. There's something I think you should see.
I already know about the library, Miss Ferguson.
Oh, that too. Well, actually, I came to tell you about the rec room. And several cells have had a going over as well.
Thank you, Miss Ferguson. I'll be round to inspect the damage in 10 minutes. Would you have all the women gathered in the rec room, please?
Certainly, Governor.
There'll be another nail for my coffin when the department hears about this.
And she looks like she'd be happy to nail it in.
Thank you, Miss Ferguson. Would anyone care to tell me what this is about?
Well, we have no idea, Mrs. Reynolds. We're in the dark about this as much as you are.
You honestly expect me to believe that after the last few weeks? All right, ladies. The damage will be paid for from your earnings.
Oh, that's not fair for someone.
And whether the department will bother to replace equipment is in the lap of the gods. And believe me, I am not going to back for you this time.
Really done it this time, haven't you? Clean the mess up.
It was a freak's idea, Jude. Bashing me, I mean. And I think she was in on the wrecking because she caught me at it and she never said a word. I just wish I had more guts now I got all me mates into trouble.
Well, I don't think it was meant to get your mates into trouble. I think this was meant to get Reno into trouble.
You're kidding.
I wish I was. I think the freak's gonna make a run for governor. We're gonna have to do something about that.
Oh, you're a bit early, Miss Ferguson. It still looks like a bomb hit it.
Why aren't you in there doing something about it?
I left me deputy to supervise. Pretty good afternoon's work, even if I do say so myself.
Had the desired effect. But we're going to need something a bit stronger than that if we're going to bring the walls down around the governor's ears.
Oh, yeah? Any ideas?
A solution. Wentworth is now going to have a full-scale riot. You reckon you can handle that, Winter?
No worries, Governor.